Hey, Orange One here. So I'm just gonna stay quiet for a minute so you can listen to Crest here. So yeah, um, this is like what I did last time where I actually played the game for a little bit and then I'm adding in audio. From what I could tell, it lined up pretty well. So I'm gonna try doing that again with this. Um, Basically, I was trying to decide if I wanted to go back to the Aurora, if I wanted to kind of loop around this southeast area of the map. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to head back like urgently. But I just wanted to check things out because I felt like, hey, we're already out here. We've fought our way through some zombies or ghouls or humanimals, and we ought to at least look at these places over here and check them out. Um, so I spent a little bit of time with the binoculars here, zooming in on some places. And I saw what looks like right there, like there's some corpses on this little, I don't know, shed or something that's in the water. So that definitely was like, okay, well, at the very least, I gotta check that out. But we do need to be kind of careful crossing the water. I ended up deciding to go explore these places. It's just too tempting seeing all those places and not going there. I think the main story takes you there anyways. Um, but you know, we're on a roll. Might as well continue that roll, right? So we got on the boat here after seeing that the Tsar, and we started paddling, you know, trying to keep our distance from that because they are pretty scary actually. Never thought I'd be so scared of a catfish, but then Metro showed me like a catfish bigger than a truck. You know, I don't know if it works. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid, but I'm pretty sure going still. God, look at those water physics. I'm pretty sure going still makes the shrimp leave you alone. We got close enough to actually hit the land, so I figured we can get out of here and jump onto it. And I mean, you know how much I love throwing knives, so I was ecstatic with this find, seeing how we'd lost a few recently. But that was definitely a surprise getting hit by that. I figured we could probably shoot them a few times, but they hit us again. It's like, oh god, we're gonna die if they hit us one more time. So I don't know if you can kind of see it, but you can kind of see them through the water. Like right there, you can kind of see them animating through the water. It kind of looks weird. It's definitely like a little bit of a visual bug. But then they decide to leave. I have no idea why. So I figured, okay, well let's keep on going then while we've got an opportunity here. If you're close enough and you just press E, it seems to let you get in the boat, which is pretty cool. But we got stuck on something. It's kind of silly. I do like the boats and the water physics especially. I really, really like that, but I also don't understand why Artyom can't swim at all. Like whenever you go in the water, it like throws you out at some spot nearby. Which is super annoying, so you have to be careful with these boats. And I seem to have better luck on land with stealth. Like, I feel like if you go by water, you're gonna have to fight some of those guys, no matter what. But if you're with a boat, you can get close enough to the land to do that, and then you can easily use your throwing knives and your pneumatic to car, take them out. Now this location really confused me. You'll see why in just a second. I don't want to spoil it. Sounds like the starfish is right outside as well. I mean, that's never a good sign, right? But then we started getting these weird effects on us. And we can hear some super creepy stuff on the radio. And that's never good either. And it sounds like Artyom was having a hard time breathing, so we put the gas mask on. It was weird because we weren't having that hard of a time breathing just a little bit ago in the same location. And I'm not sure what gives us that little beepy sound. You can see there's like these like specters walking around, so I feel like we may have been walking through specters, which kind of set it off. So it seems that we were getting that weird effect from the ghosts. You know, I'm kind of glad they kind of dialed that stuff down a little bit, because it is kind of, it's a cool effect, but they overused it in Last Light and the first one. It was like everywhere was like haunted in the metro. It's kind of cool that like it's taken us this long to find a haunted place outside. And it also is kind of interesting that the Czarfish is hanging out right when this activates. I don't know if that's always going to happen, but it kind of lends to that idea that Czarfish is connected in some way, like spiritually, to this place. So I do like that. But I got freaked out because I think the shrimp follow the Czarfish, so I wanted to get out of there before they showed up. So I just wanted to get on land because it was coming around. So we're going the opposite way from the way that they told us to go. And we're kind of checking out this place. I think this is the ruins that Crest was talking about. It took me a lot of attempts to get this just right, so I cut out a lot of those attempts. And so in just a second we're going to cut, yep. And so you'll see us actually be able to successfully take this out. I was pretty happy with the results. And a lot of the other attempts, I also, I got this and just edited it out of the episode and made a recording just of us taking out these ruins. Posted it a few days ago. I think it was on Monday that I posted it. But yeah, I was trying to take this place out, and the enemies kept on glitching through walls. They kept on running on floors that weren't there. There was definitely some weird glitchiness with the NPCs. I don't know if it's just the humans, because I haven't seen any weird behavior like that with the mutants. It was super bizarre and, quite frankly, kind of annoying. But you can kind of see they're bugging us in just a second. So they've seen us, you know. So I've figured out if they see you and you run away, they can't, if they lose line of sight of you, they don't know exactly where you are. So you can kind of sneak up on them. Which is kind of nice. I'm hoping I get the sound lined up well. Because otherwise, me referring to these things, I might be about to spoil something, or it might be a second too late, so I'll try and get just right. You can see they're shooting at us. If they hit us once, we're basically dead, so I was pretty on edge. Because in this setting, especially with the damage we've got, we weren't doing great. The way I look at it, I think you can see someone at the top. I didn't realize this, but like just if you, at the top of the screen there, if you look closely, you can kind of see there was a person up there. But I was just playing through this kind of like run and gun. If they hit us, we have to restart, and then if it's going well, then I'll use a first aid kit, you know. Because I mean, I think you at tops can take 2 bullets. So we got a couple headshots on that dude. He was heavily armored. He was so hard to kill. Like half the time that I took out other people and it was going well, that guy killed me. He had a shotgun and he would just take me out almost every single time. And I know that there's guys up top. That's why I was looking up. So I figured we could get to a vantage point where we can actually see them with some cover. If we can get into the dark, they shouldn't be able to see us. This is what I was thinking around here. So that dude can't see us. We've got a headshot opportunity, and we're out of ammo. So at this point, I was like, okay, well, things are going pretty well. We've taken out a good chunk of them. And so we got a headshot with the pneumatic rifle. Things were going pretty good, you know. So bear with me for a second while we're fiddling around with that backpack. I'm just gonna pause the video and okay, so now we're pumping it. So we've got more ammo made. We give ourselves that health pack because things are going well. And I've actually been in this place quite a number of times. That's how I know exactly where those things are. So we got some more resources in case we need to craft it. We've taken out the armored guy. We've taken out one of the guys up top. I think there's another guy up top to the right that I knew that was up there from our previous attempts. So if we stay in the dark, we should be able to get some shots off on him. I was hoping to get some headshots, but he kind of stopped right there and he wasn't moving, so I figured, okay, we'll get a few body shots on him with the fully charged pneumatic. I think 3 shots landed on the body there with the more than fully powered pneumatic. That seemed to be enough. And so I had no idea how many were left at this point. And again, if you want to watch this combat without my commentary, I've got a separate video. I just figured that I would give the commentary now that we're done. Or now that I'm watching this with you guys. So I wasn't really sure, so I was being really kind of cautious with the doors and windows. Just making sure if we saw someone, I might hide out, unless in like that opportunity he hasn't seen us yet. And I was trying to fire over the edge, but it's not like Far Cry, it doesn't let you do that. So he was surrendering to us, but I don't think he had actually surrendered, so I don't think that we got bad karma for what we did there. I didn't see the screen flash black, so I think we're okay. And so I just, you know, I want to get the good karma ending, but I'm a little bit worried that we're not going to get it if we're just, you know, tagging people like that. So I'm gonna just spend a little bit of time looting. And there's actually, I didn't realize this now, there's unique thing that you can find here. Some unique loot. So I think I'm gonna get that soon. We know it's cleared because we just got the quick save, which is nice. But I just kind of wanted to check things out, see what we could see. And I had taken out people around here, so I was just kind of checking out this area. And this looks like the only way to get up. I'd seen someone climb up here, so I thought it was the only way to get up here. And I was really surprised that this dude actually had a shotgun, because they had been hitting me from super far away. So I was pretty convinced that they had like a sniper or something, but nope, they've just been hanging up on the top with shotgun. It's enough to take us out apparently, so it was good to know. You know, the shotguns have some decent range, which is good, because almost always in video games, shotguns are like, you have to be right next to someone to even hurt them. Otherwise, it's like doing no damage practically, which is kind of silly. Not that I would know, I've actually never fired a gun in my life. I love games with guns, but personally, I just kind of never really been something that has interested me in real life. So there was actually a sniper right there. I think I just completely missed it. I can't believe that. I just walked right by it. Probably had some good attachments too. And maybe I'll have to go back there, not in a video, but on my way back and pick that up. Hopefully it's still there. Hopefully it hasn't despawned. It was right by that, like, that box that we opened up at the top there. And I don't think we'd looted this yet, so we were grabbing some of this stuff in here that I knew was there. I had basically been scouting out this place from those two little storage containers in a lot of my previous attempts. And I was just double checking again to make sure there wasn't anyone out here that we had taken out, because it kind of had blurred together. Yeah, right here is where that thing is. That helmet right there is actually a special reinforced helmet, which I think gives you a little bit more protection from headshots, but I don't know if that even matters in this version of the game. I don't know if that's a reference to Dark Souls or not, but when we put out that fire, we got like a save point, which made me think of Dark Souls, but I don't think that is how it works in the game. I think it was just a coincidence. I do love how the rags and the coats that are hanging up are just swinging around in the wind. They look pretty good too. So I was just testing this out to see if lighting and putting out the fire would give us another save point. It doesn't. I was very disappointed to not be able to do that, because that would be really nice to be able to quick save at certain locations like that, but nope. We're gonna have to sleep, I guess, to have a reliable quick save. I've also been backing up my saves occasionally. I think I backed one up after episode 5, and then after episode 10 I also backed up my save. Because, especially with these games where you only have one save, if it gets corrupted, you know, like that saving process gets interrupted, oh man. You don't want to have that happen. I do the same thing with my Cataclysm game, I just always back it up. I know it's a roguelike, and it's like, oh god, it's tempting to reload when bad things happen, but the way I see it is that I would rather have a backup in case the game crashes than not. And I've heard of people doing quick saves and losing their progress and all that in the other settings. I cannot recommend enough having a separate folder which you take your save games and you put them in any game, just in case that save process gets interrupted or the game gets corrupted. It's nice to have a backup, you know. Maybe it's the roguelike player in me, but I always want to have a plan B. And this episode is going to run a little bit shorter than the other ones, mostly because it took me so much time to get that those ruins just right. I mean, seriously, it took me like probably like 8 attempts to get it just right, maybe even more, and a lot of them were like 5-minute attempts. Like 3 to 5 minutes, so it took me a fair amount of time to take that place out during day. I think during night it would be better, but combining with the bugs, it was a little bit of a challenge, you know. I figured I would go down here while we still have daylight and kind of check things out a little bit. And we just got the quick save, so we might as well scout things out. If we die, it's not the worst thing. And I just saw a human animal through that crack there. It's a little bit on edge. I don't think it's in this episode, but in the next one I get a pretty good strategy for how to fight those dudes. It's basically hit and run. And like after I did that and kind of tested out and saw how easy it was, I regret using those bullets I used earlier. I mean, not a ton, because at that point we had such little resources, like in the episode 8 when I was messing around near the port. We had such little resources, we kind of had to use some rifle ammo to take them out. And I do like how you can look through cracks, and I think the hitboxes in the old Metro games were always way better than a lot of shooters. These guys are paladins, which I think are their fighters. So I do get really nervous, but we did get an autosave, so I decided, okay, we'll go in no gun, no flashlight.
Yeah, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
And they don't even draw their gun or anything. It's nice.
I see you are a reasonable man, traveler. You don't point your gun at us, and you seem to respect our faith. Still, we don't have time to talk to you. We are paladins, warriors of true faith, and we are on a quest. We have to triumph over the demons of electricity with faith alone. And that's why we're setting the holy symbols around us. We also have to say our prayers for any
I like the little Darwin fish.
That's why you better leave.
Or not Darwin fish, that's like the Jesus fish, right?
It's dangerous for an outsider to be here, and you could spell our doom with your lack of belief.
I guess they would call it the Tsar fish, but you know, it's like the Jesus symbol. I don't really know it very well because I didn't grow up religious, but like in California there was always these little Darwin fishes where it was like that, but it said Darwin in the middle.